Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Conversations with a Black Woman. This is not going to be an ordinary conversation because I, sorry, again, sorry, technical difficulties. So, I just need to express my disappointment of some things that went on yesterday. I was just telling people on Friday about how proud I am of the DMV area because in all the protests, it hasn't been like other cities. No real violence, no looting, no fighting, all of that. And yesterday, these people proved me wrong. I'm I'm just in awe and mad that what transpired yesterday transpired. There were thousands of people. We can't even blame the police because there were thousands of people that are Trump supporters compared to hundreds of police officers. There was no National Guard. I mean, President Trump called the National Guard the last time there was a protest and all of that. He didn't do nothing. He stood by in the White House, smug as he can be, probably, and didn't do anything, didn't say anything, because he was probably proud of the fact that these people were out there protesting something that really didn't need to be even be protested about because it's already done. No matter how many times you count the votes, you still lost. You still lost. So what is there to fight about? Why were the Trump supporters out there in protest of something that had already transpired and that was already done? That is the question. Like, really, what else could they have done? Even if you counted the votes over again, it still wouldn't matter. You have every governor of every state that he says that was fraud and lies and mishandling of voting, mishandling of mail-in ballots, all of that. Those governors had said that just deal with the fact that you lost. We're not recounting the votes because they've already been counted. And they've already told him, put your big boy pants on and just accept the fact that you lost. Just get over it. Like, get over it. So I don't normally work on Saturdays in DC. I had even told them that I don't think that we should be open because I felt like there was just some stuff that was going to happen. They were like, no, it's okay. It's not going to be that bad because Friday wasn't that bad. But in checking hotel reservations and things like that, they doubled in capacity in one day. I checked on Thursday, not that bad. By Friday, I checked again. They had doubled in capacity for every hotel in DC. Definitely at the Capitol Hilton, at the Hyatt, at the Hamilton, all of those different hotels that are right there. I don't know what to tell you. So the things that went on, the looting, they were throwing things at people. They were the Proud Boys. The Proud Boys. were out there beating people, punching them, kicking them. There was a young woman that was on the street bleeding from her mouth because these people had put their hands on her. Nobody could even get to her because they wouldn't allow them to get to her. She tried to get up, and they were videotaping her, going around her, videotaping her, like, look what we did, look what we did, and wouldn't let her get up. Like, actually pushed her back down so that she couldn't get up. And then finally, they let somebody come in to get her, to take her out. What? And you people are trying to say that you're human, that all lives matter, all this other kind of stuff. And apparently, all lives don't matter, which what everybody has been saying. Black Lives Matter has been saying that. Native American lives has been saying that. Spanish lives has been saying that. So all of these different entities of color have been saying that people do not care about all lives. They only care about one life. But people are not understanding that there's only one race of people, and that's the human race. Nobody else cares about that. Nobody should care about what color you are, what kind of money you have, what job you have, all of that. It should not matter. But for some reason, there has been more hatred spewed in the last 4 years than any other time in recent decades. I mean, every decade or every year, there's been some type of thing that has happened that has brought out a riot, a protest, things like that. But for this amount of people, the amount of stuff that was going on in DC is crazy. Because in the DMV area, we were watching it happen in every other state except for here. Now we can't even say that, because now we're among all the other cities that had protests and violence and things like that. I don't understand. It was crazy. My staff was scared. They were throwing firecrackers everywhere. They were just, they had lost their mind. They have for real lost their mind. Like, I wasn't even there, and I'm so mad as if I was there. I I I don't get it. Like, these people are supporters of someone who really doesn't even care about them. He don't care about them. He cares about himself. He cares about the money that he makes. He cares about setting himself up after his presidency is over. This man has done a lot. This man has done, he has done more for himself than he has done for anybody. That's including white people. He hasn't done anything for them. I don't even know what they said. Say, yeah, I made more money because I didn't pay that much in taxes and all that kind of stuff. But still, at the same time, you making more money, like, you didn't make thousands more than what you made. You made maybe $50 to $100 more than what you made if you're like middle income, low income. Higher income, rich people over $400,000. I don't know what their income could have made for paying less taxes, but still, at the end of the day, does it matter how much more money that you made compared to the loss of life, compared to kids being taken away from their families, adults being taken away from their kids, people not being able to support their families, people that have died because this man thought that, oh, you know, this virus isn't that bad. It's not that bad. I thought it would blow over. Apparently, you were wrong on so many levels. But these people are supporting this man. They they have this man has brought out militia. This man has brought out militia who were targeting people that Trump had a problem with and didn't like. Little do people know that Michigan is really big with militia because there is a lot of places for you to hide. There's a lot of trees, a lot of woods. Um, they have water. It's a breeding ground for militia. So the fact that a militia was trying to kidnap her and kill her, I wasn't surprised that it was a militia because in Michigan, that's where it all is. But he has other problems with other governors of different states because he hasn't cared about anything. He hasn't cared about nothing. All these people that have died in New York because New York was the epicenter for the virus. He didn't care. He tried to say that they were hiding masks, that they were not doing what they were supposed to be doing, like, because he didn't want to do anything. But go figure, if you didn't get rid of the one entity that was set up for this purpose, we wouldn't have an issue right now. We wouldn't be still now going back to phase 1 instead of being at phase 3. Because we've been at phase 2, a lot of people don't know, since July. We've been at phase 2. Some people not at phase 2 until August. This is November, 2 to 3 months after we went to phase 2. Now we're back at phase 1. And even though people don't realize or they don't care that, yeah, it's a virus, people are dying. But if you go into the hospital and you die, it may not be from COVID, but they're going to check mark you for COVID. So no matter what, if you are sick, you go into the hospital, you have breathing issues, headaches, rashes, all the stuff that they're saying that is symptoms of COVID. And if you can't breathe and you're on a ventilator that really isn't working, you're going to die. And they're going to mark you as COVID. Your family isn't going to be able to bury you. They're not going to be able to see you or anything else. But again, we're in the midst of a pandemic, and there were thousands of Trump supporters with no mask on at this place. From National Mall to the White House, to Black Lives Matter Plaza, to 14th Street down to the Washington Monument. Everywhere. And if people have saw pictures, if you didn't say, wow, or oh my God, or that's a lot of people, you weren't seeing the same picture that I saw. There were a lot of people out there. So when I tell you I'm disappointed in everything that went on yesterday, seeing it from other places to other states, other countries, and you're seeing all that violence, you're like, that's crazy. But then when it's in your own city, in your own state, you're like, what in the world just happened? All of this is too much. And then you wonder, I mean, not to say that Biden is better than Trump. Nobody really is saying that. But the reason why the turnout for voting was so massive, because he needed to get the hell out of office. So for the first time in history, they said, of voting, that this is as many votes that they've had. And that has to tell you something, because for all these people to come out and vote, that lets you know that this man need to get out. He needed to hurry up, get out. And I hope and pray that he doesn't concede, so they can go in and send in the National Guard to go and take his ass out and drag him out of there. Because I guess Melania, or however you pronounce her name, she probably waiting to divorce him. She's been trying to get rid of him since probably they were married. Before they were married, I meant to say. So she probably waiting so she can be like, bye, gone. Kids too, everybody. Like that meme with Biden and Kamala Harris, and everybody is leaving the White House. You're like, okay, bye, bye bye, bye bye. You know, that's what I wanted to be. But I want for Kamala to go to the White House, be like, no, take him. They don't have to pack nothing. We'll pack all this stuff for him and send it to whatever storage unit it needs to go to. But they need to go, like right now. Let's go. Because what happened on Saturday, shows you how much hatred there is among certain people. Because that was a lot of hate down there. That's a lot of hate. Especially, like I said, for a support of someone who has not done anything, zero, except for lessen the amount of taxes that you have to pay. That's it. And he really didn't have anything to do with that. That has to do with the House Representatives, Congress, Senate, all of those guys. Those are the people that made those decisions, not this one. What he failed to realize is that he is just a figurehead. He is just a person who would speak on behalf of the people. But it's supposed to be the people that make decisions. We are the ones that are supposed to vote on whatever is going on. So when you have people that are supporting someone who does not care one way or the other what goes on in this world, as long as he gets what he wants, that's an issue. That's a major problem, because this person should not be in office, because like every other president before him, Republican or Democrat, it's about for the people. That's all this is supposed to be about. It's not supposed to be for anyone else. Nobody else is supposed to gain anything personal from being the president of the United States. Yeah, I mean, there's presidents, they write a book when they're done and all that kind of stuff, but that's when they're done, not as in the process of being president. This man has created such mayhem in the last 4 years that it should be fitting him going out of the presidency because of a pandemic, because of something that he created. He is the one who made sure that all of these people, that like all of those families, for all these 200,000+ people that died, should be mad at him. They should be not voting for him, because they have to think that if he had did what he's supposed to do in January, then we wouldn't be where we're at now in November. We wouldn't have been at where we're at in March, with the whole world shutting down. And then we got a reset. There was No looting, no killing, no, the smog in Los Angeles and in Arizona cleared up. Like, it was like beautiful. It was beautiful. And they opened phase 1 and people lost their mind. And it was supposed to be where phase 1 was supposed to be like a test to make sure that everybody was being safe and doing what they were supposed to be doing so that we can get back to some sense of normalcy. These people lost their mind. Georgia, Atlanta, full wide open. No masks, no nothing. They just out here. Other states just out here. Just no masks, no nothing. So, in all of that, in the last 4 years, to get to this point, to where thousands of supporters for a man who does not give 2 cents for anybody but himself, and they wreak havoc on the one city where he's at, that matters a lot, because this is where people come to create bills and laws and things that we need. And they come and they just wreak havoc on DC. Wreak havoc. People can even walk down the street without being harassed by these people. They tore up people's carts, cars, messing with their kids, messing with their wives. I mean, it was insane. Insane. Like, and so when I say that I'm disappointed, I'm so disappointed in the fact that they were not prepared for what was coming. They weren't prepared. The fact that these people tried to kidnap the governor of Michigan should have been like something saying to them, hold on, he has big followers. They're coming to DC. We need to be prepared. There should have been like National Guard. There should have been all kind of stuff out here. But you got people standing in front of Trump supporters trying to fight for their life, not even saying anything. And these people are out there throwing things at people who were just, like I said, minding their business. And that is the crazy thing. It's, I mean, like I said, and it's so much disappointment that all I could do was laugh, because I was just like, it's crazy. That is super crazy. So this was not supposed to be my topic for today, but in lieu of what happened yesterday, and my job really was affected by it because it sits right by right in front of Black Lives Matter Plaza. Getting phone calls from staff members and things saying what happened and how scared they were. I mean, it was just a disappointment. It was such a disappointment. And I hope that everybody that was there is safe, that there wasn't that much damage done, that those people that were hurt are okay. Um, I really just, I don't know what else to say. It's just so, just mind blowing that, like I said, you see it on TV and you hope that it doesn't happen where you're at. But then when it happens, you're like, this is crazy. That's crazy. So, I mean, for everybody that voted for Biden, yay. And all we can do is hope and pray that the Senate, the House, Congress actually listen to the people, actually do what's necessary for our country so that this country can heal, so this country can just take a breather from the last 4 years and just be able to just woosah. Because I don't know in the next 2 months how much damage he can do. Hopefully not that much damage, because all I'm hearing is what he's trying to come out with this vaccine. He's trying to say that it's free. Um, he's trying to do some other things, but I mean, where was all of this enthusiasm 8 months ago, 9 months ago, a year ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago? You can't, I don't even understand why they even let him loose like that. I figure, me personally, I feel that they did that because they thought he was going to do what they wanted him to do. And probably little did they know that this man had an agenda of his own and he wasn't listening to them. So that might be why a lot of Republicans and other people are like, oh no, he got to go. Because he took on a life of his own. So, like I said, I hope and pray that everybody is okay. For those of you that are have that hatred and that despise of other people because you think that you're the high end of the food chain, you're really not, because we are all the same. We bleed the same. We just all are different spectrums of the rainbow. And I don't know how long that's going to get through these people's head, because it has been embedded in society, embedded in history, in books, in internet, how people feel. It's like in, engraved and weaved into everything that we have been through. And it's not just the 400 years. People are like, oh, 400 years, but it's been way before that, way before. Because it wasn't something somebody's like, oh, we're just going to bring these people over here and we're just going to have cheap labor or whatever. No. You got to think about where they were getting those people from, what their countries were already going through compared to what is going on when they, what happened when they brought everybody here. Because when they got here, there were already people here. So what were all of those people doing before they got here? So you got to look at there. It's not just 400 years of history. There's tons of history, tons of history. And the fact that it's just mind-boggling, the things that have been happening, especially now. Like I said, this man have lost. It's been what? That happened on the 14th, so 11 days later, these people are still fighting as if this man really had a case against voter fraud. You really didn't, because you have lost so badly that even if they recounted votes and found some hid out somewhere, you would still lose. You would still lose, because he won not only the popular vote, but he won the electoral vote by a lot. Because those states like Michigan came out. They showed up and showed out. Which you did it to yourself, because you were spewing so much hatred that these people went and tried to kidnap her and kill her. So what makes you think that this state is going to be like, oh yeah, we want you to be president for another 4 years? They're like, yeah, no. So, like I said, I just needed to say that because I was so pissed and disappointed about what happened and what went on. And I feel for the police because there was nothing that they could do because they were outnumbered, all the way around outnumbered. So I hope, like I said, everybody was safe. I hope there was no one that had died, no one had any major injuries, that those businesses will be able to um, get back, and the staff and things of those entities that were down there that were affected are able to get through what happened yesterday. So I just needed to say that. I wish y'all well. Have a good day. I appreciate y'all. Bye.